Welcome back to the channel. Today I have a direct accompaniment video to my previous one where we talked about the 8 hero archetypes that I see in Deadlock. Today we're going to flip it on its head. Instead of talking about the archetypes and then some characters that fit within them, we're going to be talking about the characters and the archetypes that they directly fit into. Again, this is by no means the rule of law. Green screen, mic. Green screen, mic. I've only got 1,000 hours in the game. That might be more than a lot of you, but it's paltry when compared to those E6 Andes. So if you're one of those, let me know how I messed up every single character on this list. And if you're not, well then sit back and enjoy this rapid fire breakdown of the entire Deadlock roster and each of their playstyles. It's time to Deadlock in. First up is the very big boy in blue himself, Abrams. Abrams' descriptors are tank, brawler, and bullheaded. This makes him easy to label with archetypes, primarily of course tank. However, I believe he's got a bit of control in him. He's got a lot of area denial in his very presence. The second he enters a room, people start to scatter. Watching this man charge you down and slam you against the wall and beat you silly is one thing. However, seeing it happen to your teammate is another thing entirely, and really puts it in your mind. We got an easy one to start out our list. Up next we have Lash's arch nemesis, Bebop. His descriptors are hook, bomb, punch. Although not as clear as Abrams, I still think we can definitively place Bebop in the assassin and controller roles, with a bit of off-tank in him. He's quite beefy and has to get close to you to put on his bombs, so this necessitates that he builds a bit closer range, or at least to get in and up close and personal, grab something like Veilwalker. However, with two forms of CC with his hook and bomb, he can choose where he puts his target. Sometimes he'll hook you in and just set you there. Sometimes he'll hook you in and throw you into an objective. Either way, Bebop controls that position and adds a little damage on top. Next up, we have Billy Boy, the GOAT. His descriptors are punk, chaotic, and GOAT. I covered him quite extensively in the previous video, and so I think we can squarely put him in that off-tank position. A bruiser who excels at getting in, doing damage, and taking damage. Anytime Billy lands that baseball bat, he's continuously healing so long as his 3 is up. This makes him a menace and very sneaky in a one-on-one fight. The key is he's shut down with a parry. However, the thing is, he's going to light melee more than heavy, so hitting that parry is definitely much harder. With 3 out of 4 of his abilities having some form of CC, he definitely fits into the control meta as well. Knocking you up, bringing you back down, bringing you to him, it's always about where he can put you. And so long as he can keep you nearby and continually steal that health, he's going to do that crazy amount of damage in a very sneaky way. Beware the Billy. C is for Calico. Her descriptors are tricksy, slippery, burst damage. As well, I covered Calico quite extensively in the video and put her squarely in that assassin role. I see her as both an assassin and a bruiser, somebody who can get in, nuke one character and get out, or if they build a bit more tank and rely more on that gun, can brawl and be up in your face with a bit more health. Ava, her cat, as well makes her a fantastic split pusher, allowing her to push a wave and get to that next fight on a much more rapid pace than the majority of other characters. She likes to brawl and not necessarily be the center of attention, weaving in and out of combat as she sees fit. Up next, we have our very own playable patron, the Doorman. His key words are disorienting, map control, mind games. With these 3 terms, I think we can squarely put him in that control, with the capacity to be an off-carry or even an assassin if played correctly. Pre-placing doors, he can make some excellent traps for any unsuspecting foe. His ult that's a detain that literally takes you to another section of the map, and luggage cart with some crazy CC and stun capability if leveled correctly, means that he is a menace in any fight. Commonly played as a mystic build, usually grabbing Vortex to grab an entire group of enemies and shove them all with his cart, this character is versatile though, as we just saw a gun carry in the most recent DNS. I would argue this character has one of the highest skill ceilings, with the knowledge of door placements being among the most difficult tasks in the kit. Our Eldritch Horror with a horrifying kit. Up next we have the Drifter, his descriptors being Stalker, Bloodthirsty, and Cruel. I think these 3 terms make it very clear Drifter is primarily an assassin. An assassin with off-carry characteristics, he's only useful if he can continually wrap those solo kills. Either that or sit and farm for half an hour and then you're really just ignoring his 3. His ultimate is a blind, so he dips into that controller archetype as well. Play him if you love hunting your enemies and chasing them down dark corridors in the dead of night. And now we have the plucky professor, Dynamo. Described with team play, initiator, and clutch, I think this squarely puts Dynamo as a controller support. With a knock-up, a teleport that he can bring teammates with, a heal, and of course that black hole, this man is perfect in almost any fight if positioned correctly. Ending fights with a well-timed warp stone into black hole, or supporting the team from the backline with some crazy damage knock-up and waves, Dynamo is a winner in almost every book. Although maybe not the most played right now in the current meta, I can assure you, he can do some crazy stuff right now. Dynamo, my beloved, give him a try. Up next we have the Birdman himself, Greytalon. He's a precision hunter with some area denial. For these reasons, I put him in the off-carry, controller, and assassin categories, with his rain of arrows forcing enemy opponents into cover, and his trap being well placed, he can cause havoc in any fight. As well, his follow-up in form of bird and or arrows means he's a menace on low health characters. With his owl having global presence on the map, if he knows where you are, you're not long for this world. Up next, we have Haze, the Sandman of the roster, labeled as an assassin with some stealth and lethal qualities to her. This clearly puts her in that assassin archetype, but in my video, I almost only describe mystic assassins. Haze is a little different. Landing a sleep dagger on you, that's almost the only spirit damage she'll do, at least for the majority of builds. After that dagger comes through though, all she has to do is press 4 and instantly wins the fight. Do be warned though, because a debuff Haze can still be a menace, especially with Ricochet. For all these reasons and more, this places Haze in the assassin and off-carry archetypes. Up next we have the rootinest tootinest cowgirl in all of Deadlock, Holliday. Crackshot, explosive, and apprehender are her key words, and in my last video I described her squarely as that assassin. Don't let that discount her, however, as she can be a fantastic carry if built exclusively for her gun and fed that advantage, diving in and out with her jump pads and causing some crazy havoc with her bombs and lasso. She's a menace in every single fight she's in. Just make sure to land those crack shots or else you're leaving a whole lot of damage on the table. Up next we have Infernus, described with arsonist, explosive, and burn rubber. Our first true hard carry as we go down the list. He is fantastic when it comes to just continually burning the shit out of you. With some fantastic area denial in forms of his dash and AoE ultimate, Infernus fits that controller, assassin, and hard carry playstyles. You can try to play cover and you can try to get distance, but Infernus is always gonna burn you. The savior of Spanish Harlem, Ivy, described with team up, disruptor, and rock solid. She can be a fantastic backbone to the team, supporting almost every fight through her capacity to be almost anywhere with her ult. Mystic Ivies are a menace, denying areas in almost every single one of her abilities and causing enemy opponents to watch where they're walking. She can be a carry, she's a controller, and if built for her burst and explosive damage with her ult, knockdown, kudzu combo, she can be an assassin. Kelvin is a protector, explorer, and is ice cold. Weaving the support, controller, and off-tank archetypes, Kelvin is a fantastic mashup that means he is perfect in almost any composition. Having one of the highest pick and ban rates in most recent DNSs, he is almost too essential when it comes to forming a team. Keeping the enemies at bay and keeping the team topped up, Kelvin is the quintessential support. Up next we have LadyGeist, described with lifesteal, self-damage, and fatale. Hard support. I'm just joking, I had to get that in there with the way I labeled her in the last video. Although she can play support, that's definitely not her most preferred playstyle. With fantastic area denial in forms of her bomb, as well as the presence of her life drain causing enemies to stay behind cover and at a distance, she is a fantastic controller, off-tank hybrid. Definitely one of the slowest on the roster due to lack of mobility, she is no doubt one of the scariest. Playing around corners and hiding with low health, she'll jump out, swap ya, and drain the life right out of ya. Seriously though, what was I thinking in that last video? Jacob Lash is an asshole. Described as initiator, high-flying, and arrogant, Jacob Lash is a fantastic combination of assassin and specialist. I covered him quite extensively in the previous video, so he won't do much here, but just know that he is perfect when it comes to being the most annoying person to play against. Almost always lurking in the shadows, waiting for a fantastic team-wide ultimate, Lash is just around the corner when you least expect it. Doing crazy damage if he can get high enough for his stomp, and following up with his flog, he can get in and get the hell out. Up next we have the Kid Wonder herself, McGinnis. Described with Inventor, Support, and Disruptor, McGinnis is that fantastic control character who can top up an entire team if she levels her heal. Shaping fights with her wall and annoying the shit out of people with her turrets, McGinnis can control the area like no one else. Just be sure you play her far enough back or have a heal on standby if they push you, as she is one of the slowest characters on the roster. Are you a carry McGinnis, a support McGinnis, a controller McGinnis, maybe even an assassin McGinnis? Mina, the most broken character on the roster. Described as a harasser, nimble, and vexing. This character has the innate ability to simply not give a fuck. Harassing you from the start of lane trying to build up her love fights, this is her win condition. If she can build those early and scale into the late game, she's a menace. If she can't, well, she kind of falls off. Outside of that, she has one of the most busted escape options in the entirety of Deadlock with a double teleport. Use this to escape a Bebop bomb, a Warden cage, damn, really any CC. If things get scary and her life is looking a little low, well, she just dips to the jungle and eats some creeps. I'm sure you can tell how I feel about Mina. For all these reasons and more, I'll place her in the assassin, carry, and even controller archetype, denying space with her ultimate and making people break line of sight just by looking at her. Mina is a menace. Up next we have Mirage, bodyguard, traveler, focused. Mirage is the creeping in the night who surprises you with the crazy amount of burst that he does once he gets full stacks. Almost always rushing Ricochet. Once he's got that, you best be warned, he is crazy when it comes to teamfighting. A fantastic split pusher as labeled, and the ability to be almost anywhere on the map at any time to lend a hand or push a walker. Mirage is the slow, silent burn that attacks when you least expect it. He's an off carry with a dash of controller in his tornado, and he can even be assassin if built correctly. Beware your position with every foot placed, because Mirage can be there in a second. The dynamic duo Mo and Krill with tag team, initiator, and burrower. Mo and Krill's in a weird position. He's a tank initiator who doesn't usually want to tank up front, and he will soak damage, but if things get too hairy, he's dipping under the ground and leaving you in the sightline. Hopefully they sandblasted whoever they were looking at on the way out, because if not, the aggro's now coming squarely at you. Like I said, they're an off-tank initiator, so they dive in, ult ya, hopefully the team can kill you, and dive back out. With the inability to really play any other playstyle, they're probably one of the weirdest characters on the roster. P is for Paige. It's a little book joke. You get, yeah, whatever. She's helpful, a protector, and is book smart. Always watching out for her teammates, she is a fantastic support controller, denying space with her dragon and CC abilities and knocking people up when they least expect it with her ult. She can be a key character in winning fights. Do be warned, however, because a split shot, express shot Paige can still be a menace. Well, maybe not with express shot nurse, but you let me know. The one of many and many of one. Paradox. She's a calculated disruptor tactician. With one of the more versatile kits on the roster, she can be played in a number of different ways. An assassin initiator who jumps out, swaps you into a bomb and wall, and disappears you with the rest of her mag. Or more of a cold and calculated controller who places up well-timed walls and denies areas with her bombs. Even maybe an off carry if built and swaddled correctly by her teammates. Paradox has a crazy fun kit with a crazy high level of precision required. Try her out if you really want to test your limits. Trickster, burst damage, frogs. I don't think there's any way to describe Pocket. Having arguably one of the craziest combos in the game, they dive in, they dive out, and they usually leave you lying on the ground. As a perfect assassin on the roster, they also have a bit of control in them. Their ultimate, although non-lethal, can still force entire teams to back up. This and their cloak used to deny some sightlines or areas in small skirmishes means that they can weave both that assassin and controller archetype into a beautiful mixture like no other. Up next we have 7 with high voltage, merciless, area denial. Labeled as hard carry in my previous video, they also weave into that controller aspect with their shock and ultimate causing some serious area denial. Unless you have a way to knock him down, you need to get the hell out of dodge and break that LOS. As well, once he ramps, he gets some crazy speed through his mystic speed scaling and can be almost anywhere in just a moment's notice. Play 7 if you like shocking the shit out of your enemies. Shiv is rage, bleed, repeat. Unable to describe him any better, this squarely puts him in that off-tank spirit role. Continually building bleed and then coming in for the kill, he is that one-target aggro like no other. Take fights in open spaces and dodge every knife you can. because if you're fighting this man one-on-one in a room, you're not long for this plane. Our divorced couple of the roster, Sinclair the Magnificent, labeled Trickster, Copycat, and Versatile. Played in a myriad number of ways, this is a specialist through and through. Playing mind games with the assistant or causing havoc with their ultimate, Sinclair is the trickster god of the roster. They weave in specialist, controller, and even assassin playstyles. You can't kill him. He's Victor. With one of the easiest kits to learn, he's not the easiest to play. Foregoing his aura of suffering for the majority of his early game, the most Victor can do is try and get fat as quickly as possible. I label him as a hard carry tank with a dash of controller. Through his ability to not die and cause entire areas to be backed up when he originally dies, Victor can stay standing for the longest on the roster. Up next we have Vindicta with Sniper, Soaring, one-shot kill. She's a fantastic off-carry that can be played as a backline controller. Echo Shard your stake and throw Alkfire down and bam, she's one of the best controllers out there. Don't let that fool you. As stated though, she can be that off-carry if she can consistently get some snipe kills, snowballing her souls and getting to the endgame before anyone else. Our beloved goo boy, Viscous. He's evasive, he's a disruptor, and of course he's gooey. Viscous has a myriad number of playstyles, be it support, crazy burst gun and melee damage, or even a mystic menace. This versatility allows him to play in many different ways, be it controller, support, assassin. The only thing I would hazard to guess he can't do is be a hard carry, though as I'm sure you will let me know, he's done it once or twice. Vyper is a gunner, slippery, and goes rat-a-tat, weaving in and out of combat with her slide and causing serious havoc when it comes to OBJ fights via her ultimate. Vyper is a sneaky and slippery shredder, a menace in lane if she can get you low enough and put that poison on you, and a crazy OBJ demon. Vyper has a fantastic mixture of harassment and gun damage. Try her as spirit, try her as gun, either way she's gonna cause some serious pain for the enemy team. Playable as a hard carry, off carry, bit of a controller, bit of an assassin, she does it all. Watch out because Vyper's sneaking up on that backline. Warden, the initiator, who's fearless and is a one-man army. And that last little keyword is it, the one-man army. This man, even more so than Vyper, can do it all. Playing carry, playing tank, playing bruiser, playing brawler. Warden has his gun can do crazy damage. His flask and area denial in form of his cage do crazy damage. And of course, if he gets that ult off and you're anywhere in the vicinity, well, you know what to do. Get the hell out. Warden is the everyman and is one of the first characters I tell newbies to try out. Just build some movement on him because he can be a little slow. Our last hard carry of the roster, we have Wraith, a duelist isolator who's telekinetic. Having an almost abysmal lane through lack of damage, she starts to scale at a crazy rate and can win games at minute 22. This character out of almost any is usually at the top of the souls pack and eats up everything on the map. Taking one-on-one fights with her is a death knell, so make sure you have some backup. Supporting her team with her 3 and nuking characters with her card and ultimate, she is the quintessential carry. And finally, rounding out our roster, we have Yamato. Described as relentless acrobatics pursuer, she chases down any low health character and makes sure they're taken out of the fight. She's a bruiser, an off tank, an assassin, even a specialist if you want to get crazy. Relying on hitting her combo, she sees her health bar disappear if she can get all of them off. A crazy harasser in lane and a fantastic duelist in the mid and end game with an ult that basically copies Victor, Yamato can stay standing and nuke you before she gets out. Play her if you like diving in and instilling the fear of God into your opponents. Well, hot mama, that was a doozy. Thanks for making it all the way to the end. I hope you learned a little, maybe laughed a little, and maybe you just compared the characters you play with what I had to say. Did I get it wrong? Did I get it right? Let me know down below. Stay tuned to the channel because I've got even more coming your way. Up next, we're going to be talking about the shop and why it even exists, so do stay tuned. Hit that like button, hit that sub button, and I'll see you in the next one. It's time for me, Deadlock out.